Hello, listeners, and welcome back to another episode of Pitstop Fracas. I'm your host, Richard. I'm here today to talk about the British Grand Prix at Silverstone. Here to help me with today's pod is none other than Mahad. Mahad, how are we doing today, bro?
I've just dried off. I got soaked at Silverstone, but fantastic race and memories for life, And I saw McLaren 1-2, so hold that.
Yeah, but it was definitely an eventful weekend, to put it that way, to be honest with you, especially with the weather. Good old typical British weather. But yeah, Aranch, how we doing today, bro? I know you was tasting different matches and stuff like that. No girls this week, no?
No, man. I was enjoying, all the different events, the F1 teams that I was able to attend that F1 teams were hosting in London. So shout out Williams, McLaren and Aston Martin. V-Carb, you got business to attend to, because, where was the invite, bro? No invite, bro. Man, want no rave, bro. But yeah, other than that, we needed someone who was at home and not at Silverstone on the pod just to give additional context to whatever was going on in that race weekend. So I'm here.
Man said I was trying to buy slow on all pieces, You're not slick, bro. I'm telling you.
I'm not trying to buy that. You think I have the financial capacity to buy that? Bro, I walked into the shop today. Yeah, I saw the top was like 80 quid. I said, I am good.
Man said, "There's no bugger half of this. I don't want it. I don't want it, bro. Tell you." But yeah, let's start with proceedings. Quali. Now, for those of you who don't know, me and Mahad was at Silverstone all weekend. If our tweets been obvious, so our perception of quali and of the whole weekend is a bit different to Ranch's perception of quali. So, to start off, I'm gonna start with Ranch. Ranch, how did you find quali, and what is your takeaways and highlights of it? Basically, who did good, who did bad?
Okay, so I found quali to be very entertaining. It was demoralizing at the end because all of the drivers sat. So when I say all the drivers, I mean of the top team. So the Ferrari guys, McLaren guys, absolute bottle jobs. Verstappen, although he set a yellow third sector, fair enough. And then George Russell pulled the lap out of the gods from his ass crack and got in the mix somehow when Mercedes were just off the entire weekend. Another star is Behrman. Behrman brought through the whole, it's the UK, I'm at home, I'm going to cook motion. And it's kind of funny because the people that had stinkers were like Hulkenberg, Colapinto, just not good. Like, it's really bad now. Like, bro, it's basic errors. You can live to fight another day and you're just binning it for no reason. So, yeah, I think that's my quick summary of quality. Max nailed it. Everyone else fumbled in the last corner. And, it's one thing to basically say, oh, I did all I could, but I lost that on time in the last corner for whatever reason. But actual mistakes, as in like you're driving on the grass, locking up, going deep, like it's frustrating because we're just there like, bro, like this is your chance. And this is what like, it's for Ferrari, it's what Fred Russell said all season about execution. Like, execute, because this was the car was good. It's time for these men to execute. They failed to. So, but it is what it is. Respect to Verstappen, he showed why he's known as the top guy and the top don because he executed.
Cool. Mahad, thoughts on quali from a grandstand perspective?
So where we were sitting in chapel, so we could see like maggots and Beckett's and them coming out, cops and so on. So we only really had a perception of like kind of sector 2, who was cooking and who wasn't cooking. And one thing that we can say that on track as well is in Q3, the weather changed completely from the first runs and the second runs. The wind blew a different direction. Everything picked up, got colder. And I think me and Richard, I said to him, Richard was like, yeah, Verstappen's out of this after the first run in Q3. You know what I mean? because he didn't look like he was anywhere at that time. You know what I mean? But one thing we did notice is in sectors 2, he was cooking, especially Maggis and Beckett, and he was the guy that was fully committed every time when he was there. Like it looked like the way his car's on the nose, he looked completely different to any other driver. Like he looked like he was just fighting for his life to keep the back end, but he was quick compared to everybody else, right? And considering his setup, and that's quite a high downforce section, you could see, okay, he's got something to lock it out. We said at the beginning of Q3, I won't be surprised if Verstappen is on pole because he likes to do this. Like, I don't know whether they're just trying to find the right balance throughout the qualifying session, but you're not going to see the real pace, full out commitment, clutch time until Q3. And we were quite surprised that Ferrari got 1-2 in Q2, considering, like, I don't know, like Q3, they didn't look like there were much places. We saw Lewis Hamilton, no fuel. I don't know what them man were playing at over there. Like, they didn't have fuel for him to do a run. He nearly got knocked out. But Verstappen pulled out of his ass, man. Like, we could see, like, who was in Q3, where we were at. We was watching everybody come out of Maggots and Beckett's and out to Chapel, and we were like, okay, who's really pushing and who's really on it and who's making mistakes, right? And Verstappen was clean, man. He was clean throughout the lap. Russell's lap was quite early as well compared to those guys. Russell looked clean as well. Hamilton looked like he was cooking. It was weird because where we was is like we could see who was cooking, and then you could see on the screen they're up, yeah. And then sector 3, we don't even know what happened. We're like, what happened? What's going on? You know what I'm saying? Like, who is it? Lando cooked in sector 2. He was purple sector 2, bro. We're like, okay, he's gonna put it on the front row, maybe get pole, whatever. He was purple sector 2, yeah. They didn't even show on the screen what happened to him in sector 3. So we're just like, we see the time and it's like nothing happened. And we're like, what? He's only P3. We're like, we don't even know what happened there, yeah. And the same with this Oscar, he looked less on the limit in sector 2, but then he was still on it. Like we saw the time, we were like, oh, we're good. And then we look up on the screen, and this guy's doing a madness in sector 3. Man's all like, you know what I mean? In sector 3. And then Lewis Hamilton up. We're like, oh yeah, everybody in the crowd is like, yeah, Hamilton. Because this was after Verstappen's lap, right? And then we thought, okay, Hamilton's gonna get this because he was cooking sector 2. Like, yeah, he's up, he's gonna do something. Sector 3 mistake. They showed sector 3 everywhere. Oh, when the time came up, man, saw yellow sector 3. We're like, stinker. We didn't even see Leclerc's thing, but he had a. How rare is it that so much people have a stinker on the last run of Q3? It's in the last corners. Well, man, we're up. People were up on Verstappen.
No, wait. No, I thought Verstappen was after them, man. I thought everyone had stinkers, and then Verstappen just came along and said,
"No,
purple."
No. Verstappen was in between all of them. Lewis Hamilton wasn't Lewis Hamilton lost on my bucket.
No, I think
the list. Because I remember you showed that list. I think it was who was up just before the last turn.
No. I'm talking about in order of who was running in qualifying.
I swear Verstappen was last. I thought Lewis was before Verstappen.
No, I'm gonna check right now. Let me clarify, guys, because obviously I was at track. Yeah. I'm pretty sure we were waiting for Hamilton to go pole to beat Verstappen.
Yeah, I just remember just. Oh wait, you went muted.
So don't trust me, guys. I was at track. I'm not accurate.
Yeah.
Yes, and don't take us for gospel.
Yeah, but I was there. I was.
Ron should have the answers. I don't know why you don't remember. You was looking you,
exactly.
Because I went and hung out with my friends afterwards. Like, you think I was gonna sit there like absorbing the Verstappen pole? No, man. I went outside and hung out with my friend. I was like,
no, but when you're outside, you watch F3 races, bro. This is no excuse. We got him. Man is watching Trammits and Garfield and all that man there, bro. Whoever's in that free. You can't even watch a Verstappen pole. Like, how did you do it?
Yeah, okay. It just blanked up my head, bro. But the memory gone, bro. I was just, I'm not gonna. I fully had the head loss after that pole position. You know, I was there.
Oh yeah, Verstappen was lost.
See, Verstappen was last because I was there. I had a head loss. 'Cause I remember just my head being on the moon. 'Cause I was just there. I was like,
I'm watching the replay. I'm watching the replays of everybody. Oscar head loss when he went over the line. Norris head loss when he went over the line. Hamilton head loss. Leclerc slapped the steering wheel. These man knew even before Verstappen even finished his lap. They knew they effed up.
Yeah, because I remember, I was watching the coverage, and then I see, I saw Russell third. I was like, when did Russell get third? I was like, when did that happen? What's going on?
Yeah, he done a mad thing. Yeah, he done an absolute mad thing. Yeah. Yeah, because I remember now.
We looked at the optimal laps, right? I put it in the chat.
Yeah.
The optimal qualifying laps. Let me see, because we could decipher who had a bigger stinker of all of everybody.
I think it was the Ferrari drivers.
Where is it? Okay, so people's optimal lap, yeah. Oh, wait a second. I'm confused, bro.
I've got it up if you ain't got it.
So the order should have been, what was it, Verstappen, Hamilton, Leclerc, Norris, Piastri, Russell. So them Ferrari drivers, fam, people said Vasseur was lying on people's name when he said these men need to pattern.
It's one of the ones, because a similar thing happened last year with Mercedes, where I think it was Canada, because the car was just completely arse until Canada. It was good, and then both drivers were just running around like pack. They were just doing foolishness. But the funny thing is, after that race, they kind of locked in because they're like, oh, wait a minute. Like, before it was like we had the excuse of the car was kind of ass if we were just being a bit rubbish. That excuse disappeared. And it was apparent that, they need to pattern things up because, bruv,
I said, can we stop letting Max Verstappen stat pad?
Like, sure, bro.
This is Japan all over again, man. Do you know how angry I get? I'm like, this guy is stat padding on your head top, man. Because people will say, yes, unbelievable lap for Verstappen, and I agree with it. He's the one that's executed. He's cooking and stuff like that, yeah. But this guy's not getting pole if you man are not executing, bro. If you man execute, just do your job, do a normal lap. He's not getting pole. But you're letting this guy do heroics, bro.
No, do you know what it was for me about the Ferrari drivers? It was the lap times. Because I'm there like, you had to be in the 24s. Your car had the capacity to be in the 24s. You had to get a 24. The fact that these men were 25-0, whatever, behind Russell, I was genuinely livid. Guys was like, guys, this is the moment where, we're supposed to go like, we have the best driver pairing on the grid. Like, look what happened to the car was good. We're just better than everyone. And you've let yourselves down. You made things difficult for you on a Sunday. Anyway. And any other big stinkers?
It turns out it was just aura farming. That's it.
Pretty much.
Man said just fuck it. I don't know. He thought it was Monaco or something. He just thought, let me. I need quality. I need position, track position. It's not gonna rain. I don't know what radars they had. I don't know if they thought it weren't gonna rain. They said we don't need downforce.
But who?
Red Bull.
No. That's the only way the car works. The car only works with the Monza wing. With every other wing, they'll just slide in, oversteer, understeer. The car is.
What's gonna happen in Hungary for them?
Only God knows. They were struggling. It's one of the ones where I'm like, you know what? Yeah. When I heard the news about like the context behind why they did that setup, I said, fair enough.
These men are sickos, Only balance for Monza wing. He's on the finish.
Then man had Jake Dennis doing 27 hours lockup to come out of the sim with a Monza wing, bro. So this is the only thing that works.
Do you know
how? Had Awasa, they were roll on, roll off.
Bro, like,
Real-
no,
How bad Red
Sunday
Bull are. Bro, they got a wind tunnel that only works in certain conditions. The simulated tools aren't working properly.
Let's talk about this. I wanted to bring this up. I'm only going to take 1 minute to say this. Red Bull do this every single week. Even when we were good in 2023, yeah, these men are meaty on Friday because their simulation tools don't work. So they never have the right setup for the race, for the track, right? So everybody in their mind will be like, oh my God, Red Bull, awful. Look at them on Friday. Look, they're nowhere. Da, 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 da. Next day, Saturday, they're cooking. And then it makes Verstappen look like he's unreal. Unbelievable. Look at the car he adjusted. Brother, they've got the wrong setup every single time. They do the setup on the track. Their simulation tools, everything like that is wrong. If you said this on paper, if you said this in public, right? So for you to think that's a true reflection of the car on Friday, you're more. Well, that's it. So that's my
Richard, any takeaways for quality for you?
It was just good to get like a decent quality session live in the flesh, just to get an aspect of what the fans and how they react and how what they feel and stuff like that. So it was all right, to be fair. As I said, I didn't think Max was going to get pole, and then he just somehow got pole, and everyone was livid, bro. Whole grandstands livid, bro. Heads were on the moon, bro. Everyone's like, yeah, it's going to be like Lewis or maybe Oscar or Orlando. But you see Max doing the Eversville, even though he got a yellow sector, bro, everyone's head was kettle, bro. So there was a Max fan in front who was doing the most, bro. Even his dad was looking at him crazy, bro. He was down side at him like, you all right there? He's going crazy, bro.
crowd was silent as well. He was just doing a mad thing.
It was like a morgue, bro. I'm telling you.
Wait. Were the little kids around you?
No. It was a kid, but it was like probably like, I don't know, 18 or something like that.
No. I was gonna ask a question if there were kids around because I was there. If I was there, yeah, and there was no kids around me, I'm laying off the loudest swear word, yeah, you ever hearing, bro. You're just hearing, ah, just agony, just like, are you serious?
You know them parents there, they'll just swear in front of the kids, ain't bro? Don't make no difference.
Nah, man, you gotta have something. You gotta have a bit of etiquette, man. It's like actually that's a sidetrack. I'm sidetracking, bro. When I attend sporting
Stay
events
focused.
and there's kids around, I'm on good behavior. Like, you know, there's no yelling at the officials when there's kids around.
Don't kill me.
No kids around, I'll call them, man, all sorts of words.
Maybe
Anyway,
like it's non-league, bro.
exactly, man. That's the spirit of the game.
That's fair enough. Right. Let's move on to well, I probably should have started off first, but yeah. Howler. Race week build up. So there was a lot of build up in specifically London in terms of build up to yourself and stuff like that. Couple F1 teams doing events and stuff like that. McLaren, they had a 2-day Glastonbury sesh. Williams done something. I know Aston Martin done a couple days as well. And the resident cast member who attended all those events was none other than Chris. So Chris, tell us how the events were. Sort of like, where did you go? How were they? What was the match to say? And, you know, just tell us about the race build-up experiences, bro, the different teams.
So obviously, as you know, F1 was coming home. The origin, the source, they had to, you know, go to, you know, the best city in the world and, you know, show out. All these men were hosting events in the city, you know, Zone 1, you know. McLaren hosted it in the Trafalgar Square, but we'll get to them in a second. We'll start Williams. Because Williams, they had the first event where they had, you know, F2 driver come in, Luke Brown in. Then the following day, they had Jenson Button, James Vowles, and Albon all in there. I think nearly all the teams were hosting events or with sponsors doing events, but obviously there was ones were a bit more public and focused, which was like Williams, and all you have to do is have that happen and just like, cut through. And then they're in there. They had Sims in there. They had classic cars in there, helmets, trophies. You know, it was a good vibe. You know, they had the merch on discount in there. I saw Legos for like 85 quid. I was like, this ain't adding up, bro. I was like, I thought this was supposed to be the discount, bro. And it was cheaper on like
Costco. Running scams, you know. Yeah, but go on.
Yeah, but it was all right. Obviously, I wasn't really willing to prepare to stand around for like 40 minutes to have a go on to basically play the F1 game on the wheel. I'm not bothered to wait 40 minutes to do something like that, bro. We had stuff to do. And then the Aston Martin event was really good because Aston Martin, their thing was like basically fan ideas. So it's like the fans were like, bro, your team is green and everyone's banging this green drink, the matches in it. So they got a proper matcha company there on a little stand in Covent Garden. Said, roll on through. We've got a show car, got the F1 Academy drivers. No, yeah, there. So like you rolled up, scanned your thing, cut through the line, and then you got a matchos. It was all right, you know. Tastes like a real slide tackle on a Sunday morning, bruv. So that's how you know it was proper quality stuff. And then
That's a real rust.
Bro, the woman, the thing is, you had the woman doing it in front of you properly, like with the powder mixing water, like, it's like whipping it like a little bean.
Whipping the dish,
yeah, whipping it.
Whipping the Pyrex shit. So no.
Yeah, and then they had that with soda water, or you can have it with milk and stuff. But then it was just really nice, a good vibe. You know, you had time to chat to people, chat to the driver, take pictures of the car, so on and so forth. And then you had like. And I know they did like nail sets for girls and stuff, so you could have like green nails and stuff. Obviously,
show me your nails right now.
They're clean, bro. They're clean, bro. What's going on here? What's going on here?
Yeah, that's right.
What's going on here? I am not. The thing is, I can't even say no yet. That's crazy. I had to just firm that one. Fucking hell. I was trying to do inclusivity for girls, yeah. I'm getting trapped like it's Yu-Gi-Oh, bro. What's going on?
You enjoyed the match too much, so I had to double check.
Hey man, I just make funny content for my own personal followers to enjoy. That's the whole point. Anyway, yeah. And then obviously we had the big one in Trafalgar Square. That's, you know, if you look at where London is on a map, where they go, where's the basement of London? It's Trafalgar Square. So that's where all London measurements are pointed from. And then you had the big thing with McLaren. Obviously, I missed the first day because, you know, people were taking the kids away from school to go attend the event, you know. But I try and pop in around lunchtime. I'm seeing line from Trafalgar Square to Chinatown. I'm like, what's going on here, bro?
Now you know what F1 team really has motion in England, bro. That's a team that has motion, bro. The gates opened at 12. They said full capacity, 12. 12 minutes, you know. Man, apparently people were camping outside.
Yeah, no, people were there from like 5, 6 in the morning. I'm like,
listen, this is motion. Who's got the most motion when they come to London? McLaren, Beyonce, the ghost of Michael Jackson. It's McLaren, bro. Man are lining up for an F1 team. This is crazy. And do you know what? When you got in there, because I got in there quite late. I got in there about 5-ish. And luckily for me, the second I walked in, they said, "Welcome to the stage, Oscar Piastri." So I didn't miss anything. I saw when the drivers came out, second I got there. You get me? Ramo, thousands of people on the first day. And you listen, this is the team, man. Men talk about Tifosi now. I hear it, man. That's over in Italy. We run the ends, man. Ask Richard about the split at Silverstone.
Yeah, it was like nice sea of papaya.
Sea of papaya, bro. We run the ends.
Right? Give it 12 months, yeah. Lewis season 2. Let people get their bread up to buy the new Ferrari match. Let people get their bread up.
Listen, you have to understand. McLaren's the national team.
McLaren's
the national team, man.
No, I understand, but you think man will wear Mercedes merch. It's last year's Lewis's merch, bro. It wasn't the George thing, bro. It's last year. It wasn't Adidas.
Poor man with the George thing, but they were looking corporate, bro. They were looking like marketing. Remember, they were looking corporate. They were looking like they don't watch F1. They were looking like we're here with sponsors.
Yeah, sponsor thing. Yeah, that's what it was.
We're here with HP and that.
I said HP. Don't kill me. Here with Ineos.
We're here with Petronas, Ineos.
Jim Ratcliffe there for the 60 feet bucket house. Crazy work.
You think Ratcliffe's wearing merch?
Yeah,
you have to buy it. He ain't buying it.
He's wearing the merch and he's shilling. He traded the merch for hand sanitizer, bro. He said, "I'll give you this box of hand sanitizer. You give me one cap."
Man said, "I've got all this kitchen spray for you. Don't worry. It's antiviral. You get me? I've got you." But yeah, the McLaren event, I think it's fantastic. They put on a real show, man. They had so much people out there. They had the junior drivers. They had like legendary drivers there. They had Lando and Oscar. Them man were doing slave trips, man. Them man putting them on stage every 5 seconds, bro. They revealed delivery, had them out there, brought them out again. You know what I'm saying? So I know they were posted up on the Hilton behind Trafalgar Square. So they're just whipping them out of the room every 5 seconds. I saw a video Oscar posted of Lando napping because man caught him. They got these man working hard, bro. Promo, you get me? But yeah, it was a really, really, really good event. There was so much things to do. Fam, one thing I did notice at the event, because I was there on the Thursday as well. Yeah, these man were handing out paddock passes like it was water, bro. They were announcing, yeah, this person got a paddock pass. This person's got a paddock pass. Like, how much paddock passes was you giving away, man? I'm talking about at least 20, 30 paddock passes got one. You get me? So, but look, they really gave back to the fans. People managed to meet Oscar and Lando for the first time. So much other people there, so much insight. Everybody on the McLaren team even had a video from the IndyCar drivers and that. So, and they saw the Formula E, everybody. So, yeah, I think it was really, really good. And they had the classic cars on display as well. So they did a really, really, really good job. They really showed up. So hopefully they do it next year as well.
Yeah, it's one where they had the constructors trophy for people to take pictures with. Obviously, I was not lining up to do that because that'd be a false image, bro. I support Ferrari. Imagine celebrating your ops trophy, bro.
You know that the guy that's wearing the shop with the shirt and the Trump shirt. It said convicted felon.
Yeah,
tick whatever. Yeah, that's you with Ferrari merch walking around Trafalgar Square, bro.
No, bro. I was just. What was I wearing? Whatever.
He's wearing GR63, bro.
No, I was just.
Your comments, this goddamns.
I was just wearing normal civilian clothing, bro.
Yeah, daily paper, bro. I know you, bro. I know you're in real life, bro. You had the book out and the shirt matching. You had the co-ord set, bro.
No, that was the day before. That was when I was doing nonsense. But anyway, that's not for the listeners to really care for. Let's move on, yeah, okay. We've got the race view build up and everything, yeah, let's move on. Because I know other teams were doing stuff as well, but it didn't matter because it was all like, either we weren't invited or it wasn't the team doing stuff, it was doing that mixed with a sponsor. Or you were Ferrari that just did random stuff, but no one cared because you didn't announce it properly. And you did it on like a Saturday. And like, we're locked in on the Saturday, like watching all the racing.
Yeah, true. Cool. Let's move on to the race starts. So, of course, with some of the guys on the formation stuff started to pit and go on slicks, like Charles Leclerc, George Russell, just to name a few. Some guys, because of the state of the track, decided to take a gamble and just do Hail Mary thing. So, Mahad, I'm going to come to you on this one. Thoughts on the race start and basically who was going on the slicks basically a bozo move, or do you think it was a half decent Hail Mary shot?
I'm going to keep it 100. I didn't hear the question. I'm so sorry, man. I apologize, man. It's been a long couple days. It's been a long couple days. I've been sleeping. Is this regarding the race start of the race?
Yes, the race start. People going on slicks.
People going on slicks. I thought people going on slicks. I started laughing. I was Richard. I said, "Are you man all right? Yeah. Do you see that cloud in the distance? It's going to rain, bro. Yeah. So I thought it was stupid. I thought apparently it was Russell's call to do it. I don't know what Leclerc's doing. Leclerc's doing hero ball. I don't know what these men are doing, bro, over there. And you know what's so funny? A lot of the back markers didn't do it. So what does that tell you? You're P5, P4, and you're doing it, and brothers that are back markers are not doing it. What is your plan, bro? Because obviously you have a discussion with your engineer. What time's the rain gonna fall? If they're saying you the rain's gonna fall at 10 past 3, yeah, what's the point of you being out there on slicks for 10 minutes?
No, they said
And
it
the track,
20...
and the worst thing is the track is cold, bro. The rain that happened at the F2 race still didn't dry up. It still did not dry up. It was cold. There were still puddles there. Nothing. It's not one of those the ones where it's like a hot day and it's blasted rain a little bit. It's not a Singapore thing where it's gonna dry up. What's your plan, bro? And I don't know what Mercedes' plan is because I saw a certain man in the hards.
Okay. What I will add is it was 25 minutes. So it's supposed to be 25 minutes of running. And it was one where it's a gamble, but it's supposed to come towards you. If everything goes well, it's a kind of plan that will take you from P4 to P1. And then when it rains and it's time to put the inters on, you have fresh set. And if it rains again, you have another fresh set of inters. Basically, you're not burning up your inters on the dry piece of track. And it's one of the ones where if you're not going to win the race under normal circumstances, why not go for the move? You're not fighting for a championship. You're not fighting for anything. You're just there. So, as teams,
Bro,
if you split the
it's
strategy,
the opening lap, you're going Hail Mary, fourth and one.
if you know you're
First
slow, Hail Mary, bro.
I listen, yeah.
We're talking with hindsight.
This is gonna be the first time, yeah. This is the first time I'm ever gonna say this statement, this line on a pod, ever. Nikita Mazepin was right. If you're from the ends, you should know the clouds, bro. You should look up and so yeah, it's gonna rain. It's coming now. You get me? Russell should have looked up at the sky and know British weather and be like, yeah, it's gonna rain.
No, but he knew that it was gonna rain.
Like bro, when the race started, ask Richard where we was. Literally, the dark cloud was above us. It was over us. It was about to go over the track. Facts. At race start. Facts. And the way the wind was blowing, that's happening in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, not 20.
But a little bit of rain.
Black cloud, by the way.
Yeah, but it's one where you gotta trust. You gotta trust the day.
That's why Nikita Mazepin in Sochi looked at the sky, said, "Yeah." Still finished last, by the way, but looked at the sky and knew when it was gonna what kind of rain it was.
I'm all for it. If you back yourself and you back your ability and you say like it's possible, because towards the end, just before it properly started raining, them man were fast. Like them man were like 5 seconds faster than people on the inters because the inters were cooked. So it's like if Bortoletto doesn't bin it and cause another virtual safety car, then them man could have cooked up something because you could be up there in the mix while having pitted and with an extra set of inters in case the weather's just cooked. But I don't blame them for taking the risk. Like especially the ones at the back. Like I'm gonna be real. If you were slow and you're out of position and on normal pace, you're gonna be sixth or whatever. Well, what's the point of just doing the normal strategy? Roll the dice, go for gold. If it works, it works. If it doesn't work, oh well. The one thing is putting them on hard. That's crazy. But that's a Mercedes problem, and we'll get onto them later. But yeah.
Cool. Let's move on to the Piastri pen. So Piastri was, I can't remember what this lap was. So when I mean at the race, get no context, bro. I think it was lap 19.
No, that was the first one. I think the first one was like lap 19 or something. Then the second one was like lap 27. The one they got penalized for was like lap 27.
Yeah. So basically, yeah. So basically, Oscar got penalized for, of course, he was leading the pack, and the safety car basically got off, and he decided to brake from, I think it was like 218 kilometers an hour down to 52 with 60 psi of brake pressure. And he got hit with a 10-second penalty, which of course ruined his race and meant he didn't win the race. So I'm gonna come to you on this, Ranch. Do you think the penalty was fair, and do you blame Oscar for subtly asking for team orders on the thing?
Okay, to answer second point, no, I don't, because his head was kettled. He had a head loss. Like sometimes you have to give drivers grace when they're racing and things are going wrong, or things are. It's like, bro, these men are stressed and panicked. You're driving at 200 miles an hour, 5 times the force of gravity. The blood in your head is sloshing all over the place. Like we can't expect them to be rational or normal unless you're doing absolute nonsense. If you say something a bit crazy on the radio, I don't care. It's like, because he's livid. I get it. He feels he's been hard done by. But for the penalty, I thought it was fair because it was raining and you've gone from 200 kilometers an hour to 50 just instantly. Now, is part of the blame to do with the race director for pulling the safety car in that late? Yes. But you can't do what you have to slow down gradually, especially in those conditions where it's raining and where people can't see. It's not like one of the ones where it's like, I've pulled over to the left and done it. It's, you can't see. No one can see. So you got to, slow down a bit more gradually. And like, the people try to compare it to the Russell thing in Canada, but it's like he slowed down way more in the wet and applied way more brake pressure. And there's one where the first time around, there should have been notice said like that was a bit naughty, don't do that again from the race director. Because obviously he caught life on the first time around, but that's when they noted it and were like, okay, if he does this again, we're throwing the book at him. But yeah, it makes sense in the circumstances because the first one was a bit messy and the second one wasn't as messy, but the fact they happened again, you're gonna have to punish it. And you have to the rules were broken, so I can't fault the stewards on this one.
So do you not think maybe because I spoke to some people there at the track and they almost feel like because Max spun out just after the green light went, if you will, that was kind of part of the punishment to give to Piastri, because people trying to say, oh, the reason why Max took was because of what Piastri did to him. Do you think maybe stewards had sort of influence there, or do you just look at it in isolation?
I think they looked at it in isolation, like because Max spinning out just had nothing. Max was just. We saw Max was slipping and sliding in the wet conditions the entire time. So, and we know Max tends to, if he's struggling a bit, with his car, he has a moment. Like we saw it in Spain, he had a moment just by himself. So I'm not buying into the theory. But if you want to buy into the theory, fair enough.
Richard, do you believe that?
I don't know. I'm on the fence. I'll be honest with you, bro. I'm on the fence because if Max doesn't, okay, let's say Max spins, but he doesn't lose. Maybe he loses like one place and they get it back. I don't know. Does he still get the penalty? Maybe he does, but he gets 5 seconds. I don't know. It's a bit of a techie one. I thought 5 seconds would have been fair because I thought maybe yeah, he deserves to get a pen, but I don't know if 10 seconds is appropriate. At the end of the day, no one crashed. Max has got lightning quick reactions anyway, I'll be honest with you. Yeah, it is in the vein. Yeah, it was from a high speed to a low speed, yes. But I don't know. I think 5 seconds would have been a bit more appropriate, man. I'll be honest with you. I think maybe Max sort of like made it look worse than what it was. I'm not going to lie to you, bro. I know that sounds steady tinfoil hat fairy, but I feel like 5 seconds would have been better, bro. 10 is a bit like, you're taking the piss. So
I would agree with this
tell me.
theory. I would agree with this theory, but then when I found out today that they were onto him already for the first safety car for doing it, that means they were onto him. They were looking at him. Stewards were looking at him from jump because they were like, okay, why did you? So, you know, the one that happened before, that wasn't because of Max on lap 17, the first safety car, when Piastri did the same thing. That was because Stroll and Hulkenberg nearly crashed because of it, right? So stewards took a look at it. I've never seen stewards do yellow card. That was official. That's basically a yellow card. They're basically saying, if you do that again, you're off. We're doing something to you, yeah? And then he did it again, but even worse. Because they looked at it and they looked at the brake pressure, they looked at the speed that he did it at. So they're basically saying, it's basically Lee Judges. He done it again. He done it again. That's what this man's enticing the stewards, bro. So that's why I don't think it's got nothing to do with Max Verstappen. If initially, when I didn't know about the first safety car thing and the stewards looking at it, I would have been that, yeah, it's the consequence of Max spinning, blah, 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 blah. But the fact that they were preing him from the jump, because of that, because of Stroll and Hulkenberg and everybody else crashing behind, they're like saying, this guy's trying to do a Mugello, bro. He's trying to do a Bottas Mugello, bro. He's trying to get everybody to clout each other at the back.
No, do you know how fun? Do you know the funny thing about the Bottas Mugello thing is? That wasn't even Bottas' fault. He actually kept the same speed the entire way. It was someone at the back just said, "Oh, we should get going."
Grosjean was just like, "Yeah, full speed, let's go." Let's go. Take it out. There is. Oh my days. But basically, it's a safety thing, isn't it? It's a safety thing, bro. And do you know what? I'm seeing other safety car restarts of Piastri. This is his style, bro. This is the way he does it, bro. Man did it in Spain. Man did it in Spain. This is what he does. He's like, well, let me just slap the brakes back. You know what I mean?
Wake up back.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there was one where there was the one in Spain. No, Verstappen nearly went into the back of him, bro. He did the same exact thing, bro. So, but the fact that he did that in those type of conditions, and the fact that I've never seen stewards give yellow cards, bro. They looked at it and said, "You do that again." They treated it like track limits, bro. Said, "You do that again, we're throwing a book at you." And apparently, 10 seconds is the standard, bro. I don't think there's I could understand 5 seconds mitigating circumstances like that, but brother, they already tried to bag you before, bro. You're gonna get a 10 seconds. 10 seconds is the standard now for anything, bro. 5 seconds is a rare one. Man, seeing track limits, and I'm seeing 10 seconds. People are getting slapped with 10 seconds. I think from this new race director, that's the standard now. They love a 10 seconds
because obviously the 5 second thing, people
they said it don't work.
They're just driving up the road. I've seen someone get a podium after holding a 5 second penalty because they're just like they come out of the pit and said, this guy's in my way. I'm just gonna cut the corner and just carry on.
And they'll hold the 5.
They were like, I'll hold the 5. I'll carry on going.
So now 10 is the standard, and the fact that he got a warning. No, they didn't even give him a warning because obviously this is Formula 1, man. Stewards are not going to ring McLaren. Tell him, make sure you don't do that again. They're not going to do that.
It's not the Massey area anymore.
That's not Massey area. It's not even Charlie Whiting, where they used to ring Charlie Whiting. What do you think? You know, when they used to do that, they used to do the radio. What do you, fam, when you look back at those races, you're like, what's going on here? They used to speak to Charlie, say, what do you think? Obviously, he's the race director. They go to the race director and say, what do you think the stewards are going to do? And he will give some advice, and then they'll act on it, right? Now, the teams have to make the decision themselves, isn't it? So it's up to the McLaren pit wall to say, yo, chill out on the first one to Piastri. Because they're going to get onto us if you do that again, right? But they didn't do that, right? So that's why he's going to feel aggrieved. And the fact is that McLaren pit wall is going to tell him he didn't do anything wrong throughout the race. So he's going to have it in his mind now, Oscar, throughout that race, that I didn't do nothing wrong. And in his mind as well, that's already reinforced. I've done this in other races. I do the exact same thing. So why am I getting batted up now? Right? So, and this could be the fault of the FIA at the same time as well, because the fact that he's done it previously and they didn't say anything to the team afterwards or anything like that, or said something to Piastri like, don't do that again. This is not how we want you to do safety car restarts. it's reinforced in his mind that I'm doing safety car restarts the correct way, and or the safe way, if that makes sense, right? So he's going to carry on doing it regardless if it's a wet or dry.
I think the thing is it depends on where you are on the track and the speeds. I think in Spain, while I was a bit higgy, he was in the corner, so it weren't as bad. But here you're on the straight, like there was still plenty of straight left before you reach stall. So it's like that's where they kind of had to throw the bag at him, like and be like, "Yo, we got to book him now."
But my default is if you're a McLaren driver, you're innocent. I don't give a shit. Fuck the FIA. Yeah, I don't care. So my instant reaction at the time at the track is like FIA is trying to shag us because I just saw a safety car that didn't need to be a safety car, and you just whacked this guy's leader. And he's probably thinking that as well, especially when you're at the front, yeah, and you got no spray. He's probably thinking this is calm. You're talking about they called a safety car when it stopped when there was no rain. They didn't call a safety car when it was raining. If it was chucking it down, then Piastri would be like, "Oh yeah, fair play." You know what I'm saying? He's chucking it down right now. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You allowed this guy to build up a lead with no spray, then it stopped raining, and then you're like, safety car. So his head is already lost about that, right? Then he can't do safety car restart the way he wants. Gets a penalty for that. Team is already telling him, "Oh, you did nothing wrong, whatever," right? Then you get the shameless radio after serving the penalty, yeah. And apparently after in the press conference and stuff like that, he's like, I might as well ask. Yeah. But for me personally, as a McLaren fan, don't even put the team in that situation, bro. You're not doing them no favors, bro.
No, I get it, but I think the team
don't make them make those type of decisions.
No, I think the team like the fact they asked a question. They're like,
they don't.
Trust
me, McLaren don't like those type of questions.
No,
they don't want any of those things. Right?
That's what they said publicly, at least. They were like, "Oh, we'll come with that. He showed hunger, like he showed,
privately they're gonna cook it for it.
Of course, but at least
because one thing McLaren and Ferrari have in similar is they got an ego thing. We're in charge. You don't tell us what to do. We decide if there's gonna be orders or whatever. You don't dictate what's gonna happen. You're an employee. You know what I'm saying? But obviously they get the public perception. Oh yeah, he took initiative. He's a racer. He's gonna do. They always love that line, innit? He's a racer. Whenever something a bit dodged, yeah, but yeah, like you said, Ron, she's head loss. I think it's a bit out of character, or it is character and the mask slipped, but yeah,
no, it's not the mask slipped. His basic thing is he's uber Gen Z. So basically, he's one where when you work with Gen Z people, it's like, there's the ones who are really cold, but if they have a head loss, it's mad. And that's Piastri. He tries to keep himself composed, but if his head's gone, it's gone. And like it won't coming back. So I think this is the first time we've seen him have a head loss like this. So that's why everyone's like, oh my God.
But from my perception, like obviously I've seen Oscar at McLaren the whole time, right? He has head loss, and I'm aware he has head loss, especially if he's been effed over or something's gone against him, safety car, whatever, yeah. But the head loss is shown in the way he drives, not outwards, if that makes sense, right? This brother was head loss. Did you see when he come out the whip? Did you see him on the podium? Did you see the interview with was it Julian Palm, whatever, or Button? I don't know who it was. He was livid, man, and that's the difference between previous. You know what I'm saying? I've seen him bare times be livid.
Yeah, but
it's in his driving, and he starts driving spooky and hyper aggressive when he's livid.
Yeah, but it's the different now because there's a championship on the hands, and it's like every race matters, and it's like Austria, where it's like, I promise I won't be third, but then I won't be third. You can tell like that little bit of like, it's the dog in him just coming out. And he's like, bro, there's a championship to be won. Like I'm driving well, but if these things are not coming my way, it's kind of like.
But this is where you show composure, though.
Yeah, I think
when things don't go your way, that's the time you have to be, like that. But then most Formula One drivers are not. Look at Verstappen. If things go against him, he's head loss.
Yeah, he's head loss. But the thing is, this is Oscar's first time. Your first dance, you're going to be full of head loss.
Yeah,
Everyone's
but the difference is showing. I think this is the first race. I think last week actually, Austria.
Yeah,
it's the first time he was outly saying it on the radio and he's showing his demeanor in it, like I'm getting bad things are going against me and I'm not happy. If that makes sense. Whether it be someone spinning in front of him, something, whatever. It's happened before, but he wouldn't. He'd have a little bit of a. Like let's say Verstappen and AD, he'll have a quick liner, but you know what I mean. And that day he was driving angry. Man, clarted Colapinto. He was livid because of the situation. Because for me, he shows in his driving rather than anything else. But yeah, man, I don't know, man. We'll see how it goes if it does him any favors in terms of the team. I think don't put yourself in that situation. Same way Lando kind of like not listening in Hungary, put him in a bad situation. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, they're gonna tell you you're just an employee. Just chill out, bro. You don't tell us to do anything.
Yeah.
I heard that.
But I would say the penalty is fair. I would say, bro, don't be losing races because of penalties, man. It's just stupid, man. Like, let's say, for example, like Qatar. Lando was going to win that race. And he's doing foolishness. Not lifting. For the double yellows. You know what I'm saying? Even though it's a minor infraction, people are like, oh yeah, it's not even that deep, whatever. Man ruined his race because he wasn't paying attention.
Yeah.
These are like minor errors. Do you think the top... I don't think... Is Verstappen doing this to lose the race?
What, get a penalty?
At this moment and right now, Verstappen right now, would he do that? Would he be getting stupid penalties and losing the race because of stupid penalties?
It won't surprise me because of the head loss I've seen him do. I'll be honest with you.
No, I'm not talking about head loss like wheel to wheel or someone else, whatever. I'm talking about racing infractions in terms of yellow flag, safety car, this type of technical stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's only really the safety car thing I can see him doing something stupid and then getting back for it. And then he'd be confused, like, I do this all the time. Why are you only back at me now?
And that's what I'm saying. Oscar now, because Oscar's probably thinking I do this all the time.
Yeah. And then he's probably thinking about Canada with Russell and Max. He's like, hang on, Russell didn't get backed. Why am I getting back now? Why go on?
Do you know what's funny? Yeah, I think Christian Horner hates Russell, bruv.
Why?
He hates because he was like, I don't know why Oscar. He loves Oscar. Yeah, he's like, I don't know why Oscar got a penalty. Like George's thing was worse. Like George didn't get a penalty. I was like, yeah. George telling the world that.
Wait. Who said this?
Horner's like, I don't know why George didn't get a penalty.
This is how you know there's issues. Richard, we spoke about this, bro. Why is Horner not backing Max?
Yeah, you spoke.
What's going on here, bro? First of all, after the quali lap, he was like, yeah, great job by the team turning the car around. Man didn't care about the lap. He's like, yeah, Max does what Max does. That's all he said. And now he's talking about, Oscar, why did he get a penalty? What are you talking about? That was against your driver.
Put it this way, he's loyal to those that are loyal to him. He's seen the end is near. It's time to move on.
I think that's the biggest sign that it's done. You know that the deal.
But the thing is, I'm being honest. Do you think it was going to be for 26 though?
I don't know, but the tone's changed, man. The tone's changed.
No, go on, Chris.
I was gonna say I think the deal's done for 27.
I don't think he's looking that far ahead. I'll be honest with you. I think he's pissed because there's truth to the rumors. So I think maybe Max's camp is talking to Mercedes.
Yeah.
But he's just pissed off the strength of that rather than to say, yeah, the deal's done. Because if the deal's done, I think there'll be more obvious signs of attitude from like Horner, maybe Toto, maybe even Max. I think now it's just because it's a rumor thing. It's kind of like this. You're seeing the small infractions. I think it only ramp up if a deal is actually done. In my opinion,
all I know, George let the cat out of the bag, yeah, and just because he had enough of all the chat and just basically just said like, I'm opening Pandora's box, I'm ruining everyone's day. He's like, don't talk to me about this again. Talk to everyone else. Don't talk to me.
But where did George go from here, bro? Not to deflect the topic, but yeah.
Alonso, it's time to go home. Full-time management mode. You can become the new Flavio Briatore.
You talked him for next year, bro. Unfortunately.
I can do something about that. Don't worry.
Say Briatore next year just pulling up with Alonso Bottas. He's sicko, man.
And he would, you know.
He would as well. I've got experience. That's what you'll say. All of a sudden, Gasly's homeless.
Gasly's make reserve, you know. Oh god.
Briatore is the catalyst in the driver market because the guy's erratic, man.
Yeah. Do you think he was happy about the Gasly P6?
Yes.
He's not going to acknowledge it though.
No public acknowledgement yet.
No, it's one. You know what it is? It's one of the ones where it's like, good job, but next time, like next race,
P3.
Yeah, like he basically like do it again. He's like, look, we got beat by Sauber, bro. Like,
yeah, Gasly's result ain't hitting because Sauber got P3.
Yeah,
that's what the worst thing about it. Briatore would be like, yeah, why Hulkenberg P3 though? I don't care about you.
And you don't know. He started behind you, you know.
Why do you think Stroll's pissed? Stroll's like, Sauber beat me. I don't care about no P7.
Hey, on that radio, his head was
that's
hot,
the best. We're talking about head losses. That's a head loss.
Stroll's head loss. Oh my god! It was like, this is the biggest piece of shit I've ever driven. So he was like, oh no, P7, well done. He's like, this is the worst car ever.
You know what kills me? He hooped. If that car is terrible and he hooped, the guy's unreal.
He was hooping in the wet, bro. You've seen it? He was hooping in the wet.
He was hooping on softs when it was chucking it down. He's the only guy out there. He was chucking it down with rain. They're screaming to him, box. Man's going into cops, side by side, doing the mad thing.
You see that as well? We see it, bro.
No, yeah,
everybody looked up and they went, what? Everybody saw what he was doing. The cops, everybody looked to the left like, this guy's a madman. He's on softs and he's doing that. Man's overtaking man full speed into Beckett's. The guy's crazy, bro.
I respect
in the
it,
wet.
Man.
People are, and I know people are gonna say, "Oh, Hamilton's overtaken." What was it? Or was it Ocon or whatever? I can't remember who it was.
Ocon and Russell.
Yeah. People will say that's the best overtake of the race and whatever. Yeah, I appreciate that. Whatever. Yeah, but you going into Beckett's on slicks when it's chucking it down against the guy on Inters? Come on, let's be serious, bro. Let's talk about the circumstances.
Yeah, but we know what it's about. It's about having motion, bro. Stroll don't have motion. Stroll has the worst PR because just weirdos that like him.
No, we don't, Richard. We gotta tell this guy. Who's got the worst PR?
George.
Ladies and gentlemen, we were at Silverstone all weekend, right? We wanted to observe F1 fans, and we wanted to see, because obviously the internet is the internet, the media is the media, but we need to see who's really got motion in these streets, who's really got the crowd, who's really getting the clout or the applause and stuff like that when they go by whatever. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, George is bottom of the pile. I don't know what happened there. It's a shock to me. It's like me, you know, them ones there where it's like culture shock. I've gone to another country or something, and I'm like, I'm surprised. Oh, is that how you man do things? Yeah, George ain't getting no claps,
bro.
George,
bro. No, I told you guys. I was the first person to go. All 10 George Russell fans. What do you think? You think I'm not aware that no one likes him?
No. I come on. This is different. This is the British public. This is. There's casuals there. There's diehards there. Whatever.
Bro.
Yeah. This is mostly a certain demographic of people, right? I thought that's these people. Then he's gonna get love, right?
Bro.
He got no love.
It disappeared when he stepped into Mercedes. I don't like Mercedes sucked away his aura, bro. The brand sucked away his aura. That whole situation, it ruined his like brand new. Because in the Williams, it was plucky underdog George, little kid, he got Q3, will applaud his lap. Stepped into Mercedes, everything went left. Reputation took a battering, bruv. He's got no motion. And it's why it was like last year, bro. You got pole position, yeah. The crowd weren't really moving. They all gutted that Lewis didn't get pole. They were like, oh.
Lance even told us that as well. He said exactly what you just said. Everyone's like, well done.
Bro,
Lewis didn't get pole.
The thing is, do you know why it's so peak, yeah? Is that he's doing the most for the fans. So like he's waving at everyone, being super like attentive and caring, and they're not showing him no love. I was there like, damn.
Man saying they're not buying into the order form. We see right through you.
So if I see right through, because he's just a normal guy.
Does he not relate to the British public? This is how it's perceived. You know what I'm saying? If we were to rank Richard of the people that had the most motion, right?
Mm-hmm.
Lewis Hamilton's here, bro.
No, you can't see my arm. He's there, bro.
Lewis Hamilton is getting standing applause. They're clapping like it's the NHS and COVID, bro. For a cool down lap in practice, bro. You haven't seen motion like this ever, bro. This is insane, bro.
Facts.
So with the British public, this guy has got credit in the bank. In the bank. And I would say second is Lando.
Bit of a gap was second, yeah.
But second, I think it's a clear second.
Yeah.
It's a clear second, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, Lewis is that, but a clear second is Lando.
Mm-hmm.
George is behind Charles Leclerc, bro. He's behind Oscar and Oscar Piastri.
I had more claps for Max than for George.
No, but you have to also understand the thing. Mercedes, as an institution, do not have aura.
They got drip though.
Yeah, but they don't have aura. It's an institutional issue.
And that starts with Toto Wolff, bro. He's got no aura, bro.
Yeah, it's one that's like
he's an Austrian dictator. That's what he is.
So it's like if the whole institution doesn't have aura, your driver is like the one where basically is like, how can I put it? No one watches what George does, so people don't think George does anything. It's like no one knows his story into Formula One. So like, if you don't know the ins and outs, you can't relate to something because you're like, to regular people think, oh yeah, George just straightforward, easy, made his way to Formula One, rich parents, yada yada yada. They weren't really struggling there. You go ask him the story. It's a bit more,
Yeah, they'll struggle. Yeah,
they'll struggle. There's like yada yada yada. That's because I told you, man. I was like,
no. I knew this from a Sky Sports segment, bro. Don't worry. No. I know about when he was saying he won like a karting competition. He won like a big check, and that helped him get into like single seater and stuff like that. I know about that story, bro. I was like, I thought he's just a King's Lynn boy and he's got money. I was like, no, he actually went through struggle,
yeah, because it's like basically because the way he presents himself and the way he speaks,
he's proper, and then
people were like, he's just inclined. Like, nah, not really. Like obviously, compared to the regular guy, you did well, but that sold off business. Like, that gave everything up. So it's like it's a different kind of thing, but it's like that's for him to work on. But I'm like, he has no motion. It is what it is. But I'm not here for motion. I'm here for championships. So that's what he's got to go and get.
But one thing I've heard, is one of the reasons why the public don't fuck with him no more is because he was beating Lewis the last couple of years, like in races,
That is
qualities, stuff like that.
part of it. Put it this way: when he walked in, yeah, and everyone was like, "Oh, we got rid of Bottas, Mercedes." The car was ass, and he was a bit ahead, and it was just basically like, he was the scapegoat. And then there was like, but do you know what's really funny? Man has more motion in China than he has in his own country. Do you know how crazy that is?
China, why is there motion in China, bro?
What is going on?
That British imperialism, bro.
It's sponsorships and stuff. It's just one of the ones where some people have just motion in just random places. Is that how Michael Schumacher had bare motion in India? There was no Indian GP when he was racing. Why do you have motion in India?
True. Yeah. It's like Bell.
It's one of the ones there. Man has motion in India. Why? Don't know. Just the way it is.
Vettel has stands in India in every corner of the country, bro.
Yeah. But at least then they were racing in India and he won every race in India. So it made sense. It's one of the ones where but yeah. So like these things, it is what it is, man. Yeah, he has no emotion, but you know, we'll see. We'll check the next kid up, Behrman. Let's see where you rank in emotion standings. Are you going to go to the Lando Lewis levels of motion, or you're going to be in the George? Actually, he's linked with Ferrari. She's going to have motion naturally, man. Ferrari's natural motion.
Nah, I think if he has something about him, he'll get motion. I think because George is going up against Lewis and getting in the way, per se. I think that's what let him down.
Yeah, but also Mercedes have no motion, bro. You're driving around in Ferrari, you have motion naturally.
I don't think it's about it depends on your team. Lewis has got motion because he's got motion, bro.
Yeah, no, but Lewis is different.
Lando had fans when McLaren were ass. McLaren didn't have motion when he had fans.
No, but the thing is, his thing went up another level because you have to remember COVID time.
Twitch and YouTube.
Yeah, when you're doing Twitch and YouTube, but then when the races started happening again, he was on the podium. So it's kind of like you're on the way up. George was sat at the back, bro.
Scary hours, man.
Bro, if you're sat in Williams, yeah, but there's no money.
Like you said, the best way to get motion is to win, innit? So
yeah, you gotta get a good car, start winning.
That's fair. Cool. Let's move on to Lando Norris. So, of course, Lando Norris, he qualified P3 and ended up winning the race P1. So, I'm going to come to you on this, Mahad. Thoughts on Lando Norris's win, and do you think it was well deserved despite the Oscar penalty?
I think he did what he needed to do, man. These are the races that you need to win. When you're in a championship fight, it's the ones where you're not performing at your best. It's the ones that you need to bag. We said that about Oscar a couple of weeks ago when you a couple months ago, a couple of races ago. I mean, when you're not at your best and you still end up winning the race, that's the ones that you need to string together. And he ended up doing it. In the race, we watched the race. He didn't make any mistakes.
No.
He kept it on the island. He weren't doing up what Leclerc and Russell and all these other guys were doing, sliding off track and that. You get me? We were there. We saw Oscar. Oscar was sliding like he was like, I'm dying to DNF. I want to slide off. The guy's saving it every time, bro. But with Norris, he just kept it calm and kept it composed, man. Just did what he needed to do. Heard about the little 10-second penalty. He just chilled. Just did what he needed to do. Let me just stay here. Let me stay within 2-3 seconds. Let me just chill. He's gonna have to serve the penalty. Once he got into the lead, he was like, "Oh yeah, let me." Obviously, I don't know what happened. I still to this day I don't know why the gap was like only 5 seconds when he served the 10-second penalty.
Because Oscar was driving like a madman to catch up.
And Oscar went off track and he lost no time. I was like, huh? Remember, Richard, we looked at each other like, huh? We were like, bro, this guy went off track. We just seen it. This guy nearly binned it. He went off
the track. When he went off track
and lost no time.
He cut the track perfectly. He lost no time, bro. I'm telling you.
Lost no time. I've never seen anybody do that, yeah. But yeah, then when it got to that time, he just all of a sudden he just pulled out 2 seconds, kept it at 6. had it under control, man. You know what I mean? This guy was. I think the last 2 laps were real. Like he was just looking at the crowd, bro. He was chilling out. You know what I mean?
I understand that, yeah.
Yeah, just did his victory lap, won his home race, man. And then got interviewed by Jensen Button, and then I thought he did what you couldn't do, Jensen.
Crazy work.
Jensen couldn't even get on the podium in Silverstone.
Stuff.
So, yeah, man, that's one marked off for him, man. Home race done. So, obviously, he's done back-to-back races now. But to be fair, if you're going to win this title, you've got to string results together. And I mean string wins together. So, if this is the start of a little run, you can do what he's doing. But to me, I don't know yet. I'm still saying it's Oscar. So, it's just about how Oscar responds now, because obviously in Formula One, you're going to get little setbacks here and there. You know what I'm saying? It's just about how you respond to it at the end of the day. Because he probably thought, I was the fastest driver in Austria, I was the fastest driver in Silverstone. I left with P2s. Okay, how do I respond to that in Spa? How do I respond to it in Hungary? So, yeah, it's definitely people. I still think this is. I still think Oscar can manage to put this away, but he's probably thinking, "Bro, I lost bare points in 2 weeks. I was comfy. They got DNF'd. You know what I mean? But I think Lando did his job, man. I don't think anybody should be hating. People are talking about he inherited the win. The guy did his job, bro. Anybody else that's doing other things, that's got literally nothing to do with him, bro.
I'm gonna say this: there's a loser epidemic going around where no matter what's going on, someone's gonna be like moaning because their guy didn't win or this and that's happened, and we just have to ignore them now. It's like enough's enough, man. Like, take things for what they are and just move on with your life, man.
Yeah. One thing I will say is it would have been real interesting if it was still raining. To be fair, rather, because it was when it was full wet, Oscar was the quicker driver, but when it was like getting from mixed conditions, wet to dry, I think Lando was a bit quicker. But I guess with Kanye, I guess we'll never know on it. So it is what it is. So cool. Let's move on to the biggest story of the weekend: Hulkenberg podium. First podium in 239 races, bro. 15 years in the making. Ranch, I know you're his biggest hater, but I think even you can probably say fair enough to this. So what are your thoughts on this Hulkenberg podium? And is it on merit?
It is on merit. He made no mistakes in the race, and he was fast. You can't deny that. The thing about me being his hater is more, I'm the guy who likes I like new blood walking in. So, like, if you're like nearly 40, you got a child, I'm the person that goes, it's time to step aside, bro. Let the new guys come in. And that's where it comes from. It comes from a place, it comes from there. It's like, you know, I've got a couple of other men who are like nearing the list of man. I'm like, it's almost time for you to move on. So it's like, obviously, like Alonso, but that's like a arch enemy kind of vibe. Like, Hulkenberg's there, you know. Soon, like, I had Bottas and Perez on there. I needed them gone. Soon it'll be Sainz, you know, in a couple of years it'll be Sainz and Gasly and Ocon, you know. Got a couple more years. But let the new kids, you know, show levels, move you man on. So, but, you know, he's got his podium. Obviously, he's a good driver. And, you know, shout out to Bernotto and Wheatley. You know, they've really changed that team around because they were terrible last year. And I think from every aspect of that team, they've improved. Drivers, better. Organization, better. Strategy, better. Pit stop, better. Car, better. Just everywhere, they're better. They're showing that, you know, that they're a bit more serious. They're going to be terrible next year, but they're a bit more serious. And I can't fault the drive. You know, fair play. And yeah, now they've put it this way, excluding Monaco, I think they've matched Ferrari's best result of this season in P3. So obviously, like Charles got like a couple of podiums, but like these best podiums in Monaco, you basically you don't race in Monaco. There's no overtakes. So like, yeah, but not taking the team up, and Ferrari is still where they are.
Spooky. Questions need to be asked.
Bro, Sauber nearly what? Fifth? I think they're sixth in the constructors right now.
The sixth, yeah, the sixth. I checked the other day.
They went from having 2 points to now being sixth.
They're messing up though because those. Actually, no, they're smart. They're cooking now. They tanked before June 30. So they got more wind tunnel time.
Must have calculated tanking.
They started cooking after, bro. After the cutoff. So they got hella wind tunnel time. But operationally, they're night and day, man. But Hulkenberg, man, cooked, man. One thing we were watching it in the crowd and we were like, yeah, Lewis is gonna get him, man. Yeah. One thing that baffled me, I can't lie, was why the hell did Ferrari box before Hulkenberg, bro? They boxed Lewis before Hulkenberg. I was like, huh?
Because Lewis said it's dry. He's like,
yeah, but no.
Dry. It's time to. And he's and he's asking a question. He's like, is Russell and Alonso, are they fast? And Adami was like, yes. So he's like, all right, box me on softs. Because if I get it right, and if he survived the first corner and didn't lose the amount of time he did, that was probably like 3 or 4 seconds. He could have been right on Hulkenberg's on bum with hot, soft tires. But Hulkenberg's on these cold mediums.
But the problem is with that, is Hulkenberg on the mediums cooking. He was faster than he was when he was on the inters, bro. He was rapid. He built the gap up once he boxed. So maybe mediums was the right tire. If Lewis maybe was on mediums, I don't know, but he was faster, bro. The gap increased visually.
Yeah. Yeah.
So personally, I thought Lewis should have just hung it out there on inters and then just box. Have the tire offset and go full push. But fair play to Hulkenberg, man. He did his thing, man. Got a Lego trophy. Like, I think all the stupidness about him not having a podium, I thought that was nonsense, man. He's a good driver, man.
He is, but
drivers we've seen over the years, man. This guy's a good driver.
No, he is, but I think it was also a thing of, like, okay, excluding the Monaco one that wasn't his fault, there were some podium opportunities where he absolutely just bottled. He fully bottled. Brazil 2012.
Germany.
Exactly. The Germany bottle was basically, that's why they just fired, man. They said, yeah, bring me Ocon, bruv. We can't be doing this.
Yeah, man, Ocon got dunked on by Ricardo.
But he brought podiums, bro.
All right.
And the race win. So they were correct.
I think Hulkenberg's better than Ocon.
If I had to bet my life on a race for them to deliver for me, I'm betting on Ocon. More clutch gene, bruv.
Was he clutch yesterday?
That is Haas and
when he's going wheel-to-wheel bearman and we'll see the stupidness right in front of us. 4K.
That was
4K, bro. Synchronized spinner, bro.
That was Haasing, bro. That was one of those ones where
when Haas stink, nobody cares.
True. Going back to Ireland.
When they performed, yeah. But when Sauber was thinking, everybody's like, yeah, Sauber stink.
No, because Sauber will become an Audi and we're like, bro, if these man stink, Audi will just pull out and then we just lose a team.
It's their team. It's 100% now, man. I swear it's 100% now.
Something like that. Apart from like their special investors, they run the team.
It's their team.
They run the team.
Yeah, they run shit now. Well, yeah. Cool. Let's move on to our favorite driver, Leclerc. He had a fucking howler. And we're talking about this boy. You've seen him here. I think it was last year. Silverstone in the wet. He was having a stinker. This time he was trying to do Hail Mary again. Having a stinker. Cutting grass like a lawnmower, bro. We went to the scene of the crown. Me and Mahad. We went to the scene of the crown where he was cutting grass, maggots and Beckett's, bro. Seen his tire marks. Lavo, bro. Scene of the crown. Egregious performance. Egregious. Chris, speak on your mans, bro. What the why is this guy who's been in F1 since 2018, bro? You know what was happening in 2018? France won the World Cup. Trump was 2 years into his administration. We were 2 years away from COVID, bro. 2018, bro. Do you get what I'm saying? And this guy still doesn't know how to drive when it's not dry. I won't even say when it's wet, when it's not dry, bro. Mixed conditions, wet to dry, dry to wet. He doesn't know how to drive, bro. He's so clueless, bro. He needs to learn off Luke Brown. Never mind Lewis Hamilton, bro. Do you get what I'm saying? Speak on your mans, bro. What's going on?
When you're from those ends, you know, Monaco, south of France, do you think the man have mixed conditions, bro? The man driving in the sun, bro. There's no mixed conditions out there. And I think
there's a Riviera, bro. You can learn in there.
The way he drives, man. We know what it is. We knew what it was when it was mixed conditions. We knew it was over. We knew it was over for him. And we saw it last year. I tried to defend him last year. I had to apologize for trying to defend him last year because I was just saying false information. Never listen to them, man, again. And yeah, man, it was just a stinker. Because there was one where, you know, when like the people that put on the slicks early, yeah, and they were slow, but like they started being fast. He wasn't being fast enough. And then he was just on the inters, he was spinning off. And then he was battling signs, having stinker, causing an accident. Like there's just no excuse for the level of driving he produced. It was just a poor weekend. Qualifying and the race, everything below standard. And we can't even do you can't do our Ferrari at this one. It was just rubbish. And the thing is, they know, so they've just tried to group him with other drivers and be like, oh, we're all bad today. No. This was a level of stinker that, you know, is unprecedented. This was pathetic. And yeah. On to Spa, I guess.
They call him Felipe Massa.
No, I can't even accept that one because Felipe Massa had a dry setup, bro. There was no excuse for this. Felipe Massa, we saw, yeah, he was driving in a straight line, the car just span. This guy's like, oh, the water hit my visor, so I span off.
Do you know what? Yeah, I think we need to do an investigation, man. We need to go through all the wet races and see what this guy was doing. Not wet races, just mixed condition races.
Yeah, mixed condition.
But I think like if it's just fully wet, he's okay. If it's fully dry, it's okay. If it's switching it up in between throughout the race, it's looking spooky. So we're gonna have to do an investigation on this because, like, people, let's say for example, we would cook Norris Sochi 21. What the hell was Leclerc doing in that race, bro? When they chucked it down, what was he doing?
I don't remember.
He was going off the track. He was skating. Now you're looking it up. Raj is looking it up.
I'm looking up the results. I'm like,
this is what I'm
what
saying.
was he doing?
We've got to go through the investigations, man.
Summer break, man.
Richard, do you remember Turkey?
Are we both on the last lap?
Turkey 2020.
COVID times.
Yeah. Yes, when he bottled third.
And it was raining, and then it was not raining, then it raining.
Yeah.
And Vettel dumped to his head top.
What was man 15th in Sochi?
Don't kill me, man.
Bro, I'm checking. I see Sainz on the podium, yeah. I'm seeing Russell in the points. I'm seeing man 15th and the lap down.
All right, so I need you to see when Norris and Hamilton were fighting for the lead when it was dry. Where was he?
I don't know where.
That's what I'm saying. You need to see where he was and where he ended up.
Jesus Christ.
This is why we have to do an investigation, bro. You're a Ferrari fan. You should know this. Whenever it's wet, what's happening? Whenever it's mixed, what's happening? I remember there was a specific sprint race, yeah, when it was mixed conditions. I think it was 23. Austria. He was out of the stinker then. Absolute stinker all over the gap. I'm taking note of these things, man. People are going to pull up, Brazil 2024, whatever. It was chucking it down the whole race, man. That track did not dry, bro. That's a fully wet race. That was not a drying track at all, right? I'm talking about mixed conditions. You go into slicks, then back to inters, back to slicks, you know what I'm saying? Germany took 19. What happened? In the blood clot war. What are you on about? What are you man thinking about?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
He was the first one. Then Lewis said, I stand with bro, I'm jumping with him.
Stand with bro.
Bottas as well, like, I'm coming with them, man. Let's go.
Don't kill
that race was diabolical, bro.
So, I don't know, man. So, every driver got their weakness. This was just very apparent.
So much on screen, bro.
But they'll ignore it.
Yeah, his fans will know, bro. Do you think he's invincible?
No. It's not that they ignore it. It's that they're trying to. They're basically they've acknowledged that there's no way out of this one. So we're just gonna group him with Max and George and be like, we stuck together. Like, no, brother.
There's no way out of this one.
No, bro.
You're done.
Bro, put it this way. Max and George went to the gym and have a bit of BO. This guy peed himself. There's a difference. It smells, bro.
They're trying to group Verstappen with it. Yeah, Verstappen finished fifth, mate.
Exactly.
How Verstappen spin and he still finished fifth?
And his car was dancing.
And his car was dancing and he was reeking on the inters. He was fighting for his life for Williams. Then there was a period he was in no man's land. And he still finished fifth.
Yeah, because as soon as it turned dry, he just started going.
He started cooking again.
Fast. It's like.
So I don't want him grouped with Leclerc in terms of sneakers.
No.
The max result he was ever gonna get was P3, and he ended up P5. All he done is drop 2 spots.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know, man. He better hope this ain't global warming and Spa mixed condition, Hungary mixed condition. It's gonna be a problem for him, bro. Because Hamilton knows how to handle himself. There's not really an excuse. He started on the same row as Hamilton in the race. Hamilton's P4 fighting for a podium, and you are second to last with Tsunoda. He was 2 more laps. He was gonna get lapped by Lando. 2 more laps. He was gonna get lapped. I was looking at the radar. He was going to get lapped.
Man was behind Behrman and Ocon, who were doing up nonsense. It's one of those ones where because we did.
He was behind Alonso, who had the worst strat of all time. They made him do the wrong decision at every moment. Yeah.
Oh God. Yeah, he was just slow. He was slow all weekend, and it was slow all race. And I was just like, yeah, man, we can't save you. Let's just move on, man. That's why. Have you not realized yet that the Leclerc fans in the chat just weren't really talking? They were silent. There was nothing.
What's ahead? They couldn't cop no please, you know. They're scrambling to cop please. Didn't check out, bro. They were like, nah, we can't even do this, bro. She's got Lewis got 4th as well. Cop no please, bro. I love them performances, bro. You know that ones we can't argue against, man. I love it, bro. I love it. But yeah, let's move on to his teammates, and that is Lewis Hamilton. So Lewis qualified P5 and managed to bag himself a P4. He drops to like P9 in the race as well, but then he starts hooping with some nice overtakes, real nice overtakes as well. but couldn't catch up to Hulkenberg. But it's one of them. Isn't it? So, Ranch, quickly speak on Lewis's performance, and did he maximize the car today?
It's hard to say if he maximized the car because there were some errors in there, but it was genuinely like a good performance, and he did well. Like, it was one where like these are his ends. He drove well. He showed, these are my ends. People tried to do some talk, didn't come off at all, and he was excluding Stroll doing the mad thing. He was hooping, showing moves, the little tussle with George, the way he dunked on Gasly, real hooper session. Just showed his class. And, it's one thing where he's gotten better and better with the Ferrari as well. So I can't be mad, man. It's one where obviously he's disappointed for the streak's over, but it was one where it wasn't necessarily Ferrari's fault, so I'm not even going to be upset about it. It just is what it is.
If he doesn't do what he did in quality, he gets the podium comfy, bro.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, it's not Ferrari's fault. That's why I'm like,
generally, if he just qualified where he qualified, if he qualified P2, P3,
yeah,
you're P3 in the race, bro. He was never going to beat the McLarens because the way Lando gapped him was nasty in the first stint. So I was like, Ferrari ain't got the speed. There's no way.
Yeah.
But he could have taken advantage of Verstappen spinning. But at the end of the day, like, the Sauber was fast. I'm not gonna like, it had pace, man. I don't know what happened after that Spain TD, but they're eating in it.
They are eating,
bro. But with Hamilton, I think he put it qualified. I won't say he put in a good performance. Let's not lie. You know what I mean? But the race compared to his teammate, bloody hell, this guy did put a worldie in. But like I said, was Ferrari on optimal strategy? Probably not. But at the end of the day, I think that's a good result regardless. I think he's stringing them together now. He's got a lot of top fives. He's putting some points together. He's putting some points on the board. We're not seeing stupidness like going out in Q1. No, going out in Q2 and that. So I think it's coming together. It's coming towards him now. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Cool. Let's move on to Mercedes. So they had a double stinker. Anthony DNF. Russell, he was doing his best Charles impression, surprisingly. Ranch, speak on your favorite organization and your boy.
What do you mean my favorite organization? I hate that. I hate like 98% of that institution, bro. We're just affiliated by accident, man.
God, speak to our next weekend then, bro.
Basically, the car was ass. It wasn't fast all weekend. Russell pulled out a lap out of nowhere. Like on the graphic that Mahad showed, like Antonelli optimal lap time was slower than Behrman, bruv. So like they were not in a good way. And then obviously the race start begins. Obviously Russell goes in because he's like, I'm not winning this race normally, so let me just do the mad thing because he's missed the Casino Royale, bruv. He puts it all on black. If the car's not good, he's putting it all on black. And they're saying, yeah, let's go. It didn't work, but I don't blame them because the VSC, Bortolotto's VSC was too long. It wasted like 10 minutes. If it was like 2 minutes that foul and they got like at least a good 10, 15 minutes of dry running, he would have caught up with the pack. And then we would have seen something interesting may have happened. But then my issue, then obviously the first set of rain happens. He's behind Gasly, just breathing heavy like a dog, loses his head, socks the box for slicks. And then this is where my problem with the team arises. They put man on hard tires. The track is still a bit damp. It's cold. You're one of the first ones to box for slicks. why have you not put on? There's 12 laps left. Why have you put hards on? Why have you put hards on? He's the only car on the grid that had hards on. Everyone else was on softs and mediums. They put hards on his car. And there's one of the ones where Tall Wolf doing deflection mode is like, oh, we made bad decisions. One came from the cockpit. Nah, bruv. One decision, they made up. He was back in the points. He was back in P6. The other one, they put hards on. He went spinning across that Magus and Beckett's and them places there. I'm like, bro, why have you put hards on? And you know the ones where man are steaming after a race because they don't talk to the engineer like, oh yeah, we got a point or this, that, the other. Man don't talk. George Russell, the yapper that he is, didn't say a word. We're fuming, man.
I know,
and then
livid, bro.
And then Antonelli just, he was slow. They put him on the hards when Stroll went on like softs. That's when they put Antonelli on hards, and he was just slow. And then he's in the traffic, gets rear-ended by Hadjar. Race done. Just the all-round stinker, man. They try to do special livery, corporate branding thing, bro. Just let it go, man.
That's a La Howla, bro. La Howla. Right. Maybach, you said you got a dip. Okay. Cool. Safe for coming on the pod, bro. And yeah, me and Rancho close out. Peace. Cool. Okay, you spoke on the next thing. Right. Rest of the grid. I think we've spoken about everyone apart from like Williams.
Yeah, I think because what was it? Racing Bulls, both of them just out of the race. Oh yeah. Well, Williams, Sainz got wrecked by Leclerc. Albon,
yes,
good points. Okay, I think that's it.
I think we spoke about everyone.
Yeah, there's only one driver we haven't spoken, but we'll get to him in a second.
Oh, what, Gasly? Did you speak on Gasly?
Gasly. No, we spoke on Gasly.
Yeah. Okay.
Pintos did not start that no one cared for. He didn't start the race.
Yeah.
His car broke down the pit lane. He's like, hey, engage gears at 2 days. Like, oh no. Oh.
Smelly stuff. But yeah. It was being good to speak to Mahad about this as well. But obviously, fortunately, that's a dip. It is getting quite late. But our Silverstone experience. So I'll speak on my experience. So yeah, we did Silverstone for the whole 3 days. We got there on a Friday, like Friday morning, basically. It was a little bit of a nightmare to get in, but it's a fucking F1 race with 500,000 people there, so it's not going to be straightforward, is it? Unless you get in a helicopter thing, which was an offer, but I ain't got bread like that, so yeah, that's a myth. They're chatting 1,500 a day, I was like, you know what? Sounds interesting, but not for like a half an hour ride, bro. It's a bit mad still. I can't lie. But getting in was a little bit of a headache, to be honest with you. But the crowd control was all right. The organization of it was pretty decent. At least getting in there and security and stuff like that was pretty decent. Silverstone is massive, by the way. Fuck, when I say Silverstone is huge, bro, it's fucking massive, bro. There's vendors everywhere, bro. Everywhere. So you're patterned for merch, you're patterned for food, you're patterned for drink. Anything you want, bro. It's patterned, I'm telling you now. If you want jerk chicken, bro, it's there, bro. If you want a cheeky pint, fucking you like it's a Madri or whatever you drink, bro, it's there, bro. Like patterned on every aspect of in terms of what he wants. So in terms of that aspect, that was good. Plenty of toilets. There was drinking fountains there, so if you don't want to really spend money. Of course, the prices were extortionate with some places. It's an event. It's going to be event prices. So we had the roving grandstands ticket. So basically, what it is on the Friday and Saturday, you can sit on most of the grandstands within the track, apart from I think the VIP ones, and then it's like one on the main street. That sit out. So I can't remember what stage we sat as a walk around, but we basically sat throughout the whole weekend. Was Woodcourt, Chapel, Beckett's, and I think Luffield as well, to be fair. So we sat out quite a few stands. So Beckett's had the best view because we were able to see like into like it was like I think maybe turn 2, turn 3, and turn 4 where they go into I think it is the Wellington Street where they basically go into. And then of course we see Maggots and Beckett's as well, and then where they go into the Hanger Street, I think as well. So that was a really great view. Chapel's where we can see them coming in and out of Maggots and Beckett's as well, and then going on to the Wellington Street as well. So yeah, it's good to get an aspect of different stands and the atmosphere, and just to see the cars in different angles. Because some angles these cars don't look fast, and other ones they do, if that makes sense. So it's good to get an aspect of that. And yeah, as Mahad was saying before, when I say Lewis gets motion, yeah, bro, they every single session, every single time we went round, they were applauding him, bro. And we went to 4 different grandstands, bro. Even when in practice, when you're saying, "Oh, Lewis got purple first sector," and like FP1 or FP2, they were applauding, bro. This is in practice. They're proud. How can you applaud purple sectors in practice, bro? You don't even know what a setup is, bro. Yeah, so Lewis has unreal motion, bro. We know he's a superstar, obviously, but like when I say like on boots on the ground, he's a star, bro. Like his stardom is like millions cleared of the rest of the grid, bro. Millions. So yeah, when people internet, Barry from Doncaster saying, "Oh yeah, fuck Lewis, he's not from here," all that shit, don't listen to him, bro. He's got real motion, real fucking motion, bro. I'm telling you. So yeah, Lando gets a nice bit of motion too. Yeah, obviously that's why he goes on grandstand. They were cheering on Lando, so yeah, he gets nice motion. Everyone else, yeah, crickets, bro. I'll be honest with you. Like literally 1 or 2 claps, everyone else is crickets, bro. The gap is crazy, bro. Yeah, literally, it's only Lewis and Lando who get the motion. Everyone else is like, you might hear a couple claps for Leclerc, for Max, maybe for like. No, that was it. Oh yeah, Hulkenberg when he got a podium, he got claps, obviously, because yeah. But yeah, everyone else, bro. It's actually Lewis, Lando, everyone else. That's the
I got up Behrman motion then, bro. God, these
Behrman doesn't get motion either. It's kind of weird. I don't. Maybe because he's got. Yeah, he's a new kid. Yeah. I guess he's driving the hat, and then it's kind of like.
Yeah.
We can't really relate to you, and I don't know. He's a rookie in it, so we just allow him in it. But yeah, you need to update him as much as possible.
Bro, next propaganda, bro. Because next year when there's 5 British drivers on the grid, yeah, gotta slap. We're gonna have the real motion that the quarters of grid is British. It's time to slap them. Something like yeah.
No, but yes, and Silverstone was good, man. Honestly, Silverstone was really, really good. Even if sometimes it was a nightmare trying to get into different grandstands, like when we're trying to get into different grandstands on a Friday and Saturday, yeah, they were saying like, it's fully, it's full basically. Are you able to look up to the grandstand? Yeah, we see like 20 empty seats, bro. How when you're looking at it, like, bro, you taking the piss? Say, nah, it's full. So, bro, I can see seats above me, bro. Like, come on, bro. So, yeah, maybe a couple jobs waves on the door and that, but yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, we got to walk the track as well. We're trying to find pieces of carbon fiber. So we shot on eBay, a couple of bills, bit of racing bull carbon fiber, something like that, you know what I mean? Maybe a bit of Sauber carbon fiber as well. But now it was a good weekend, man. It was a good weekend. But them man who camp on site, they're kind of cooking still, I can't lie. They're cooking low key. Because to get in and out of the track, to just be at the track, yeah, and then you got to walk 10, 15 minutes here, camper van, yeah, they're low key cooking, no, bro. Even though I'm not like a camper, I see the vision. I hear them. I understand.
I'm not staying in a tent, bro.
They've got glamping, though, but I don't know if that bangs.
What?
Silverstone, they've got glamping, but I don't know if it bangs, though.
I'm seeing apartments, bro. That's where I need to be. Need to get my money. I'm being no apartments, and then we're talking, bro.
That's a helicopter thing, yeah. I hear it,
No,
bro.
man, just literally, there's a house on the street, bro.
Oh yeah,
Houses
the
on
Hilton
street.
thing. Yeah, the Hilton thing. Yeah.
That's where I need to be, bro. If I should be like, oh yeah, wake up, take a shower, just step out the balcony. Yeah. Well, the F4's on. Yeah, cool, nice. Go back inside, go food.
Man said I watched Freddie Stater with a Madry, you know.
But he's not even there. He's graduated from there, man. He moved on, bro.
See, I watched, but I don't know who's that for, bro.
We're talking.
Ollie Behrman's brother.
Yeah. And then a Montoya's prodigy, bro.
Yeah, that man, bro.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think that's. Also, actually, one thing I have to note is, you see them content creators, whoever, that was messing about with the classic cars, bro.
Oh yeah, I see the video.
That had my head hot, bro. I'm like, why? Like, what are you doing? That you're ruining the experience for TikTok, bro. Don't come back, bro. We don't need you around here, man. Don't come back, man.
Yeah, someone tried to squeeze in a racing point, you know. Do you know what's funny? Yeah, do you know what obvious that man on into F1? Because how is man trying to slip into an F1 car and not know gotta take off the thingy, the headrest thing?
Okay. Yeah.
Do you think all them man just slipping down?
Bro, you got charged 30 grand for that.
Yeah, apparently you got detained. Yeah. Apparently you got detained. I didn't see him get detained, but yeah.
You got detained, and then they're like, "You want 30 grand?"
Oh shit!
So that stock cost man 30 grand.
Hey, if he's got it, you better pay up, bro. That TikTok ad says you better pay up, bro.
Nah, bro, that TikTok's getting removed, bro. That TikTok's being sent to the ever. You're not making no money. You've gone to Silverstone and made a loss of 30K, and you're not allowed back, bro. That's probably what's gonna happen.
Howler. Absolute howler. But yeah, apart from a few bozos, man, it was a good experience. I mean, I'll do things a bit differently next time, but lessons there, man. It was good to say. It was good for me to witness history, bro. Hooking big podium. Who would have thought it, bro?
Fair enough.
Yeah,
there's no guarantee I'll ever be there, bro.
Now you will be 2027, bro. When Behrman's in Ferrari, you'll be there, bro.
Bro, unless I'm in some like VIP experience, no. I am not getting soaked. I can't do it. I know myself, so I'm good.
Yeah, I know. We got Trench, bro. Peak, bro. We was going from the car to the bus, bro, and that's when we got Trench. Head was hot. As soon as we got the bus, rain stopped. Head was hot, bro. I'm telling you. I had Yeezys on and everything. I had the right footwear in my car, but I didn't bring it out. I was like, I left at the hotel because Mahad picked me up. And I was like, I was looking at the forecast. I was like, yeah, it might rain 25%. This was in the morning that I checked, yeah. So I was like, yeah, I'll be all right. I have my raincoat and pants. I'll be all right. The shoes will be okay. There may be some light rain, bro. And then we were driving. Yeah, you see the rain. The rain pinging the windscreen like it's bullets. You're like, brother. But yeah, man, it was good experience there, bro. I'll try once I get my software thingy, try to do a vlog, man. Edit the vlog, put it out to the people then. Give it, let the people know how we going on. But yeah, man, the fucking let's round up because we've been for almost 2 hours. God damn.
Yeah, man.
Driver of the day. I'll reveal Mahad driver of the day. His driver of the day is Hulk and his stinker is Yuki. So who's your driver of the day, bro?
I will give it to Pierre Gasly for that work he did in an Alpine. That was a good drive. Got into Q3, stuck it in the points, kept it in the points, didn't make mistakes, made Russell lose his head. It's a good day.
Agreed. Yeah, I'm the same. Well, yeah, I'll give mine to Hulk, and then I give honorable mention to Gasly because he basically got overshadowed by Hulkenberg podium and a bit of a Lando win that people just completely ignored. That you got a nice P6 and merited P6 on the road for Alpine, arguably the best car on the good. So yeah, cool. Think of the weekend. Who's just think of?
Whoever at Mercedes has had to put Russell on hard tires.
Agreed.
That is diabolical work, and yeah. But in terms of driver, I agree with Mahad in terms of Yuki because qualifying he was unlucky. The car failed on him, but in the race, what he did to Behrman, unforgivable. Being like last in this race, it's like, bro, we are ignoring any qualifying howlers, but don't smell in the race. Like, we can't ignore like the elephant in the room because it's like you just like people that ask the car, I'm like, no, it's not the car because it just shows that if you're not a top driver, you can't handle the car. It's not a top driver. Move on, man.
Facts. No, I agree with you, man. I'm gonna give it to Leclerc because he hasn't learned his lessons, and that was just a hall of shame. Every time I see this guy, Lavin Pearson, he's doing a hall of shame, bro, or he's DNFing for whatever reason, bro. He's feeding my soul.
Not Abu Dhabi. He fed your soul at Abu Dhabi through depression, but he had a cook session in Abu Dhabi, bro.
Yeah, but he was determined to get constructors and he failed. So that's my small compensation. Because he was like, we'll be constructors on the radio. He's like, oh yeah, Carlos. So that was my small redemption, small. But Bahrain 23, I'll never forget you. All time a day. Ooh, I was blessed in 2 different sports. Can't believe it, bro. I'll never forget you.
I collapsed, bro. I started doing calculations in my head. I lost strength. Can't walk no more, bro. The math started mathing. It's like, It's why you know about the 10 races, yeah, and they see a driver they don't like win, and they're having head loss on the TL. I understand, bro. I've been there. Until you put your hard worked money, your 9 to 5 to attending a race, and you're seeing your go have a stink or your enemies win, you don't understand that level of head loss.
Bro, I'm saying I've seen I've seen Lando win twice now. And then who won on Qatar? I can't even remember now.
Max.
It was hold on.
It was Max, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's Max. Yeah, so I've seen Lando win twice. I've seen Max win twice. And Lewis win once. So I'm 20% from the field from my favorite drivers winning. What the fuck's all that about?
Bro,
what is my life?
Bro, I've seen Max win twice and Lando win once. And I saw Alonso dunk. I saw Alonso podium, bro. I saw Perez podium, bro.
Your head was on the moon.
Bro,
The moon.
I was like, I've come all the way here to see my enemies win, but my head was... bro, if I was on the same flight as Toto, I would have fought him on the plane, bro. I fought man on the plane that day.
Standard procedure, bro. Get him a quick padlock, bro. Put him to sleep.
Dickhead,
you ruined my life.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Did I say what's thinking? Yeah, Charles. I don't mention to Yuki because Yuki, bro. Come on, we can see you in 4K, bro. Struggling. It's not looking good, bro. I think it's his last time he's the first Red Bull bar to finish last twice in a row, some shit like that.
Jesus.
Yeah, Lord. some mad start like that. I was like, yeah, something's got rough. But yeah, cool. Let's wrap up. So of course, please do remember to do the usual. Follow us on the socials: Twitter, Insta, TikTok, Threads, all that shit. Pitstop Fracas. Make sure to follow us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify and on YouTube. Subscribe on YouTube. On the Pitstop Fracas, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all the usuals, and we'll see you for the next race in, I think, Hungary or Spa.
Spa.
I don't know why.
Well,
I don't know why.
you
I
won't
always
see
get the
me,
two
but
confused.
you'll see Richard.
You might see me. I don't know.
What do you mean?
See somebody.
What do you mean we're not seeing you, bro? You're podding, bro. I already told you I'm on annual leave.
I said, you're leaving. That's still not been approved, bro.
What do you mean it's not been approved? Who's pissed off like a HR? It's me, bro.
Nah, it's KBQ now.
No. Hey, man, let's end the recording, bro. This is type of nonsense, bro. We were talking for too long.
All right, peace.